Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report. We'll cover the ASX and the Nifty, and with the ASX on the daily chart here, we are looking from wave 4 here. We're counting 5 waves up from intermediate wave 4 of minor wave 1, minor wave 2, and we're heading up to minor wave 3. And in minor wave 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then up for 5 here, and within this 5th wave we're looking for 5 waves. So we have wave 1 here, wave 2, we're going up for wave 3, 4 and 5 here. So our target area is the medium level here, 6,500. So that's halfway between two major levels, 5,000 and 8,000. It'll play a critical role in further upside. Once we get to wave 3 here, we'll be looking for wave 4, which can pull back to wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and we'll be looking in some sort of ABC correction here for this. It may get complicated because wave 2, if wave 2 is simple, then wave 4 can get complex here. So as I mentioned, wave 4 can pull back to the wave 4 1 lesser degree or to the 38.2% retracement level. So if we just take it to there for a moment, we can see that the 38 is back around here. So it's pretty well where we're going to be sitting with all of this here. So let's dive in and pick up this wave 4 as a reference point for this, counting this particular structure to the upside. So from this blue wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1 here and wave 2. Now with wave 2 here, as I've mentioned before, I'm not quite sure if we got it here or here. So we'll play it out from here, and because it does appear that we have 5 waves through here. And this is 5 waves up here as well. That's why it can be called wave 1. So wave 1, an A and a B and a C here for wave 1 and wave 2. But also in terms of a corrective pattern, because we've got 5 here, it can be an A wave here, a B wave here, C wave here for the B wave, and then so it's basically an A and a B to here and a C wave to here. So I think this is kind of right here, and the reason for that is because when we're counting this structure up here for 1 and 2, that's cool, but this structure here, you can really see that it's the longest and the strongest so far, so it's likely to be the 3rd wave in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here to finish the 3rd wave here, and then the 4th, and then the 5th wave up higher here into the 6,500, where we'll see a reaction, and then the 5th wave above that. 5 waves will be in this structure here. So on the 1 hour chart, just to bring that in a little bit, so wave 4 here, wave 1, well, I've got wave 2 here in this particular instance. So in this case, we've got wave 1 here, an ABC for wave 2, and wave 3, 4, and 5. As I've just mentioned, I don't think this is the case because of this strong 3rd wave coming in through to this space here. So either way, the count sort of remains the same for the short term anyway. So first of all, we can remove, actually just before I remove this, from here we've got 1 and 2 here, and then all of the 3rd wave up here, a little ABC for the 4th here. So the 5th wave will take us up probably to 64.20, 64.30 in this space. And then this move down here, it could actually pull down to 38.2%, but that's why we've left our stop out of the way here. Okay, so we want to survive this pullback within here. It's likely just to come, it's probably likely to have 5 little waves up here and then come back down to this space here of this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then move up from there. So we do have group 2 as a bit of a, we do have this group 2 here, so 65, 72 and 80, that will probably play out as the support here. So we'll be pretty well right here, and then we can move up from that point there. So between these guys here, we've got 10, 20 and 30, which is group 1. And then we've got the midpoint here at 50, and then group 2 again in here, 65, 72, I can put that in later, and 80 here. So yeah, it's just really a matter of holding long, really. This trend is not completed. That's the good news about this. And I'll readjust this particular count here to play out properly. But yeah, look, the other point here too is that we're at 6,400. So the 400, you know, is not as important in a trend to the upside or downside as the 300 here, but it will certainly play out in terms of a classic trading levels pattern, which is basically let me get my drawing stick here. So basically the arrival, the reaction in 3 waves is what it's doing now. And then the first high above the level, and then an A and a B and a C coming back down to the previous structure here, and then moving up from there. So what we were looking to do was to take part profit just here. That was just here on the 64. So we can buy back in if the market touches on 72 there, but you'll still need to leave the stop out of the way. There's a very high probability that the trend is not completed, so we'll still see further upside there. The other point here too, just while we're here, with group 1 here, 10, 20 and 30, if we find if the market finds a nice tested support on top of 30, then you know that it's not going to come back to the 400 here. Okay, it's okay to trade above it. That's not support. It's got to come back and test it and then take the high out again. So just keep an eye on that. And if that's the case, then that will move straight up there, because we'd expect Friday and Monday to be the bullish days in the Asian weekly bullish cycle. Okay, let's have a look at India. So on the daily chart here for India, we've got it here as intermediate wave 3, an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here for wave 4, and then we're looking up for wave 5, moving up higher here. Now, one of the things here, this particular move, as I've mentioned before here, looks rather corrective within this space. So it does cause a bit of a problem. It could cause a problem that I doubt it very much. I think we're on the right track, but I do need to point out that if this is corrective here and all of this is corrective here, then it would play out like this here. Just before we go there though, we're currently in wave 3 here, and we're looking for wave 4 to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree down onto this low area through here, or the 38.2%, which will be in that thin band there. May not, it may just come down and touch the medium level here, the 11,500, also between 2 major trading levels here, and then move up through here. So, but as a corrective move up here, I just need to point that out here as on the 4-hour chart here. So in this case here, I just got to get in a little bit more data here for this. So in this case here, this is the low of the big move down. So we could look at it in this case as an A wave over here, a B wave over here, and then 5 waves up here. So this would actually have a top in place now if that was the case. So that means this could move further down. But I wouldn't turn bearish in this until the levels that we're looking for here became the retested resistance here. And I'd also need to see I need to see clear wave structure coming down for that. We can still expect it to come down further within this structure here if I just look at the 1-hour chart here. So it appeared that we had, from the top here, it appeared we had 5 waves down through here. And then we were looking for a corrective wave up here. As you can see here though, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it's actually an impulse wave that's moved up here and then moved back to the 61.8% mark here at this important level here, the 650, which is the 50 here, the 650 here is the halfway between the 500 and the 800 here. So this is a really important level here. So if this market drops down through here and makes another low here, then I'll know that we're on the right track and we'll be coming down into this space here. Okay, this, even though this looks like 5 waves coming up here, on the cash market, if I can just bring that across on a 5-minute chart here, we can see that we've got this first little move up through here and then it'll ABC here. So I think this is an A and a B wave here, and then up for 1 and back for 2 here, and then all the way up for 3 here and 4 here, with 5 waves in this sequence here, and then another little 5 waves in this last sequence here. So I think that this could be played out as a B wave here. And in this case here, between this low and this high here, this is pulled back further than 61.8% here. It may have a low in here. That's why I say if we get one more low to come in here on the cash market, then that will pretty much cement that situation that we're on the right track coming down here further. Just for tactics, if this does hold here and the market pushes up here, it's okay for it to push up. This would be down for 1, back for 2 here. This is the 61.850 and the 60% here, and then it can come down again from there as well. So it would take a little while to play out in that instance where this could be an A and a B and a C wave to here, down for 3, 4 and 5 here in this case. Okay, so I'm not quite sure about this, but if you're going to go long, then you'd need to go along with support on the 61.8%. So that would be at 11,750. That would be the safe trade to go long from there, and you would need support there. So you would need to have that reference point high here and then a move up from that point. And if that's the case, then you can go up to 12,000 and higher at that point. But yeah, we need, like I mentioned before, with all of this correction, we just need to be, before we take a trade, we need to be really short on that. You could short it below here as well and look further down into the 11,500. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.